Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today we're taking a look at Lattafa Pride's Art of Nature 2. All right, so Art of Nature 2 is from the House of Lattafa. It's from their Pride line series. It's an eau de parfum concentration, and you can pick this sucker up for about $50 at various discounters. Links will be down in the description if you decide you want to check this one out. Also some coupon codes, save yourself $5, 5% off various discounters if you decide you want to shop with them. So presentation on this, pretty straightforward cardboard box. Has these two horses, a kind of a mom horse, baby horse, that's what I'm assuming, on the front. All the necessaries on the back, but typical cardboard box. But it does contain this other box on the inside, which is kind of a nice thick hard plastic, just like the other Lattafa Pride line series boxes lately. That opens up like a so nice black velvety inside with this fragrance bottle sitting on this nice little podium. So box presentation, not too bad. Now, the bottle presentation, same sort of shape as the other Lattafa Pride line series bottles, but it has full color going on. We have these horses on there that it is kind of a metal insert going on there, some texture going on in the ground here, but it is in full color, and I don't really like it, to be honest, but who am I to judge? Cap on this, your typical Lattafa Pride cap with the name of the fragrance, or the logo right there, Fragrance House on the opposite side, kind of a mix of mostly metal with some plastic on it. And the atomizer on this bad boy, pretty nice, nice long sprays, good fat distribution on it. Will definitely get the job done. So overall presentation on this, bottle, meh, box presentation, pretty good. So if you're wondering what Lattafa Pride's Art of Nature 2 smells like, you've come to the right place, because I'm about to tell you. Some of the notes listed in this are a bergamot, mandarin, apple, olibanum, orange blossom, rose, cardamom, vanilla, ambroxan, gaiac wood, cedarwood, and some musk. So let me tell you what I get from this fragrance. This is a clone of, or a twist perhaps, of the Parfums de Marly's ALTHAIR. And let me tell you, they get pretty darn close in this fragrance. In the opening, it's a little bit fresher than it is with the ALTHAIR and some of the other clones. You really get that bergamot, some of that mandarin coming through, and you get some sweetness coming from that apple, but you do get a nice kind of lift of that orange blossom as well. So it has this nice kind of like tart citrus opening with some fruity sweetness that's there, but it's quickly enveloped by that orange blossom. Little touch of some rosiness, but it's mostly about that orange blossom floral that comes through. Really nice cardamom spice moves in fairly quickly, and you do get a nice heavy dose of that vanilla that comes through. So a little bit of a citrus opening, a little bit of a fruitiness at the top with that sweetness, but it's soon overtaken by that cardamom, that orange blossom, and that vanilla combo, and it's absolutely beautiful. The orange blossom adds some freshness to this, so it's kind of a light vanilla that comes through. The cardamom adds a real nice spice to it, so it has that kind of spiced vanilla, but with like a nice soft florally touch on the edge, and it just works really well. Nice balance of some sweetness with those spices coming through, and it's just kind of an absolutely delicious style of fragrance, and very close to the ALTHAIR, but I do find, like I said, this has a little bit more freshness to it, a little bit more of that kind of floral edge to it as well, and it's not as kind of spicy as the ALTHAIR or some of the other clones out there, but very nice nonetheless. As you get towards the dry down, it takes on a little bit more of that woody profile, so you get some of that gaiac wood coming up, little hint of some cedar, but you get some nice musky ambroxan that comes in, kind of elevates that vanilla. It works with that orange blossom floral really well, and it just kind of elevates that spice profile, just making this a little bit sweeter with that vanilla coming through, a little bit muskier, and it works really well with that kind of spiced wood profile that comes through. And in the dry down, you're left with a very similar scent profile. It's kind of a spiced vanilla on some woods with some nice floral edges to it, and kind of a nice soft sort of floral feel around the edges. And it's about, I'd say, between 80–90% of its way there to the ALTHAIR. So if you're looking for that kind of nice spiced vanilla with a soft floral with a kind of a woody base going onto it, a little hint of some ambroxy musk, you might like this one. So when it comes to the performance of Lattafa Pride's Art of Nature 2, I get decent performance off this. I'm clocking about 6 to 8 hours worth of longevity off my skin before it kind of really fades back into a skin scent, and it does linger a little bit as a skin scent after that, but for the most part, about 6–8 hours off skin. Granted, this is a new bottle. This might improve with some time. I've only had this now for about 2 weeks and given it a handful of wearing, so could improve when it comes to the longevity in a month or two. And in terms of projection, decent projection for the first hour and a half. It is well beyond an arm's length, does form a nice scent bubble, nice sillage that happens with that, but it does come in and sit a little bit closer about the hour and a half, 2 hour mark, and it does form a little bit more of an intimate scent bubble. People are still gonna smell you if you're kind of in close proximity, but it does kind of really sit a little bit closer at that point. So overall, not a beast mode performer, but longevity and projection on this, pretty decent. So when it comes to the where and when, I think Lattafa Pride's Art of Nature 2 would be most appropriate. I think this is a fairly versatile fragrance when it comes to seasons. I definitely think it has more of that kind of fall as well as spring sort of vibe going on to it. The spices, the vanilla in this really lend itself to that fall season, but that kind of nice freshness, that orange blossom that works its way in there with some of that muskiness as well, also lends itself a little bit to the spring. Has that kind of that fresh, rejuvenating feel to it at the same point with a nice level of sweetness and spice that just, again, works really well for the fall. But I think you can wear this in the winter time. It has that kind of, that gourmandy sort of edge to it, that spice profile, some of those woods that would work really well in the winter. And I think you could pull this off in the summer too, because it does have a little bit of that freshness. I think the really high heat, this might become cloying, too sweet, too spicy at that point to wear in like a really hot, humid day in the summertime. But I think on a mild summer day, you can pull this off. So season-wise, I think this is pretty versatile, but spring and fall is where this is gonna sing. And in terms of occasions, I think this is, again, very versatile. You could wear this casually, date nights. You can even dress this one up. Has a sophistication to it, has an elegance to it that would just work with kind of a fancy formal event if you're gonna go out. Office safe as well, just don't go too crazy on the sprays because it does have, you know, again, that spice, those woods coming through with that vanilla, and you just want to be polite to your coworkers. So I think this is an office safe. You're not really going to offend anybody if you're going average on the sprays. Not your best gym fragrance. I think there's other fragrances out there that would suit the bill better, but overall, very versatile fragrance. So my overall thoughts on Lattafa Pride's Art of Nature 2. Really nice fragrance. I think they did a really good job about getting at that Parfums de Marly's ALTHAIR style of DNA with their own sort of little twist on it. Like I said, I'd say about 80 to 90% of the way there when it comes to that Parfums de Marly DNA. This one's a little bit on the fresher side. I find the vanilla comes forward a little bit kind of sweeter with more of that orange blossom mixed into it. It does have that spice, but it's not quite the same as the Parfums de Marly, but it is very, very close, and I think they did a fantastic job. The quality on this is great. I know people are gonna ask, because they're probably already typing in the comments if they haven't gotten this far in the video, how does this compare to Fragrance World's Liquid Brun? I'd say, again, both of those fragrances are very, very similar. I'd say the main difference would be that the Liquid Brun has a little bit more of that spice profile coming forward, as a little bit more richer woods that come through, and it's not quite as fresh as the Lattafa. So I'd say that's the major difference. Not a huge difference, like side by side, these are fairly hard to tell apart, but when you really dig into it, the Liquid Brun does have a nicer spice profile with that woody base coming through. So performance of those two fragrances, I'd say are about the same. I'd give the edge to Liquid Brun. I think it does perform a little bit better, projects a little bit better, longevity is a little bit better, but we're talking an hour or two difference when it comes to that. So again, it really is negligible at that point. But if you're gonna ask me which one I prefer, this is a personal taste thing. I do like the Liquid Brun a little bit more. I do like the rich spices that come through and that woody aspect to it that is more prominent in Liquid Brun. So, you know, 8 times out of 10, I'll probably be reaching for Liquid Brun, but that is not to take away from the Lattafa, because I think the Lattafa is a really nice fragrance. Just a little bit sweeter, has a little bit more of that floral touch to it, and not as spicy. The vanilla in this isn't as rich as the Liquid Brun, in my opinion, and it's still a very nice fragrance. But if I had to choose between the two, most of the time I'm gonna go with the Liquid Brun, but by no means is this a bad fragrance. I think this is an excellent fragrance, and they're both comparable in price, so let you decide for yourself which one sounds a little bit better. If you're looking to buy a nice Parfums de Marly ALTHAIR clone, you might want to check this one out. That's Lattafa Pride's Art of Nature 2. And I want to hear from you guys. What are some of your favorite Parfums de Marly's clones? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, different taste and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.